Communist China bans or restricts foreign investors from taking stakes in its critical infrastructure or high-tech industries. But it is investing heavily in the UK's critical infrastructure.
According to an investigation by the Times newspaper, Chinese and Hong Kong investors have quietly brought up UK assets worth £134 billion, from Britain's critical infrastructures, blue-chip companies to healthcare, schools and technology. The investigation finds at least £44 billion of purchases were from Chinese state-owned entities, with huge investments going into the energy sector. Chinese state-owned China General Nuclear has a 33.5% stake in Hinkley Point C power station in Somerset. This company also plans to join France's EDF to take a 20% stake at Sizewell C in Suffolk and intends to take a majority stake at a third UK nuclear power plant at Bradwell in Essex. China's sovereign wealth fund, China Investment Corporation, has a 49% stake at Neptune Energy. This state-controlled fund also has a 10.5% stake at Cadent Gas, the UK's biggest gas distribution company, and a 10% stake at Heathrow Airport. According to research firm Argus Vickers, Chinese and Hong Kong companies or private investors have shares that value nearly £57 billion in FTSE 100 companies, with nearly half of HSBC owned by Chinese investors in shares worth more than £42 billion. Some Chinese investors are also betting on science. For example, Chinese tech giant Tencent invests in Oxford Nanopore, a gene sequencing company, and an investment service company owned by a state-owned China construction bank invests in Immunocore, an Oxfordshire-based cancer specialist company. Besides these state companies and funds, some private investors have also brought up UK infrastructure. Hong Kong tycoon Li Ka-shing has invested tens of billions in the UK over the last 11 years. To name a few, his family now owns UK Power Networks, Northumbrian Water and train lease company Eversholt. He also brought up the UK's largest pub retailer and brewer, Greene King. The former Conservative Party leader Ian Duncan Smith tells The Times, China poses the single greatest strategic threat to the UK and the free world. He says the investigation shows that the UK is dangerously sailing towards Chinese control of key aspects of its business. Former Prime Minister David Cameron and ex-Chancellor George Osborne had tried to forge closer ties with Beijing in what they called a golden era. Research associate at Oxford University's China Centre, George Magnus, says Cameron and Osborne were chronically naive.